How cute is this though?
My God, FFXIV
Oh, we
music.
got the music, yeah. Oh, so now everyone thinks we're dating. That's great.
Oh no, that's the guy and the woman who.
Oh, at least she doesn't look like a grandma. So I guess they can choose the form.
Oh, there they are. Look, and they're happy. He proposed with the ring and everything.
She's blue. She looks like a zombie though.
Do you remember what I said to you before all this? That life is a series of journeys. That you must be true to yourself, for indeed, there's no telling what awaits. I don't know about you, but I certainly didn't expect to behold such sights. The future is as fluid as the water beneath us, truly. Tell me, my friend, have you ever wished to be reunited with someone who has passed away? I have. I do. But I think, above all else, I wish that they had lived. If only for one more day. One more day. A joyous one, if I could choose. I did all that I could to make it happen. I tried everything, and spared nothing. In that manner, I was able to keep some few souls out of harm's way, but so many were beyond my power to save. What would I have done then, had I this? And you? Can you imagine yourself spending eternity here, knowing no loss?
Do you like that cutscene?
That was unexpectedly hurtful. Like, not us about to find out something about Grahatia's past or someone who he cared about. It's like a million things went through my head. It's like, did he have a partner? Did he have a child that we don't know about or something like that?
I
Uh,
think it was oddly relatable, not only to us, the player, but also intriguing for us to find out maybe a little bit more about him. And it's also kind of oddly funny that we've been through Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and now Dawntrail with Graha. We've just realized that we don't actually know much about him personally.
yeah, he's actually a person with a past, and he's just been continuously so useful that we never actually got to find out anything or a lot about his story. And I don't know, like, I think that this is the FF14 that we know that just, comes up with like a question or something to think about out of the blue. You're just sitting there on a gondola. You're not expecting him to start talking about something dark, and he's like, "Oh, do you remember someone who passed away who you wish you could see again?" And you're like, it's like hurtful. It's really, very unexpected. I mean, expected and unexpected of 14 at the same time.
I think it is expected and unexpected at the same time, but also I think it's extremely befitting for this zone because I think that's the whole purpose is that you're in this zone called the Unlost World and it's called the Living Memory to preserve memories and souls and this kind of thing and hitting this deeper meaning of life and the purpose of living and stuff like that. It's a very deep question, and I think that's what it's making us as a player even, but also the characters, not just us, but the our like Scion friends are beginning to question their life and their purpose of living, and with these regulators, this ability to be able to come back to life, or if they just when they go, do they just want to be gone? Do they not want to live forever? It's one of those existential questions that you're asking yourself, right? I think it's a very powerful topic because we're all related to that,
Yeah,
no
I
matter who we
think
are.
so. And I think that we're also just continuously learning about how selfless Graha is. Because even him wanting to see someone again wasn't like, oh, I wish we could spend one more day together. He said, I wish they lived, to see one more day. For me, it's kind of different, I guess, because I had someone in my life who passed away, who I wish I could see again. But after all these things have happened, like COVID, and basically the state of the world that the world's been in for the past 4 or 5 years, there's a part of me that's grateful that my person who passed away never had to see that. So I'm just taking a little bit of comfort in that as well.
Yeah, I completely agree, and this is the whole thing. What I'm saying, like, to each individual player or person watching this, or it's going to be relatable in some form of way, because that scene already is my favorite part of this video. I think it's a very powerful scene. I think it's a relatable thing for us all because for me as well, I'm the same way. Like, I lost relatives and family, especially just before COVID and then going into COVID. And as much as I would love to have them back, I take a kind of solace in myself to say, well, actually, you know, I take a comfort in knowing that they're not around in these hard times now because the world is a very different place. Even in the last 5 years, how much it's changed, and how much society's changed, and how much the world has changed, and these global events happening. And it makes me feel better knowing that they don't have to live through the world we are in now. Not to say that the world is not a beautiful place and that life's really hard, but it's just a different world now. And I'm kind of glad that they just lived their life how they wanted to live it up until that point, you know?
I feel the same way about it. Yeah, I get it. It's a
I
good
think
quest.
I think it's a really it's almost like the message that FF7 does about loss. It helps you deal with a topic that we all have to deal with at some point, which is like loss and grief a little bit. I know this is more about like life per se, and preserving it, but it's still kind of touching that same topic. And I think that's why FF7 relates to a lot of people, and a little bit of mine relates to a lot of people because it's a topic that we all go through in real life, and we're reading. You're typically reading the story about this, very relatable topic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that. I love that theme because it relates to everyone. Because no matter who you are, whether you're a criminal, a murderer, or a regular person trying to get by, at some point you're gonna suffer loss. You're gonna suffer grief or death, something, can't you? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think they did manage to find to create a zone and a storyline for pretty much everyone to relate to, because unfortunately we've all probably lost someone at some point, even if it was like a pet or something like that. I think that it's something that binds everyone, and a lot of Final Fantasy XIV expansions do talk about loss, and Final Fantasy in general. As cheerful as some of these topics are, like hope and other kind of positive motives, loss is a great part of them. So I completely understand why there's a lot of I guess stories about loss in this one as well.
There's a lot of loss in, without spoiling, there's a lot of lost topics in the Final Fantasy games anyway. So I feel that this expansion, now that I look back, is touching a lot on, like, look at Lukmat and her loss of her father.
Yeah.
and now the loss of her brother that she had to murder, essentially. And now, even after we've tackled all that, we're still dealing with someone who's trying to preserve life. We've been trying to, preserve this perfect world, and with these regulators bringing people back to life when they die, and going against all odds of keeping you alive, even when, as much as everyone would hate to say it, we should die when we're dead. And it's a very dark and existential topic, but it's a really, really powerful one, and I feel like Final Fantasy really thrives, not just 14, but Final Fantasy really thrives when it touches on these really incredibly powerful topics, and there's a lot of Final Fantasies that deal in loss in some way or form. Like, I can't think of any, I won't spoil much for 6, but 7, 8, 9, even 8 some loss in there, like 9, 10, like, there's all something we can relate to, and I think this is why Final Fantasy as a whole becomes a really powerful game, and this is why so many people love to play this game, because it touches on a topic that really resonates with so many people.
I think so.
It's making me look back on the expansion, the Dawntrail expansion, and see it differently now a little bit. And now looking back, a lot of the topics have been about this.
And I'm just so glad we took our time. Honestly, maybe if we would play this in 1 week, maybe we would be too exhausted and just too consumed with trying to finish it to understand and appreciate what the expansion is really about.
Well, yeah, that we take our sweet damn time anyway, but sometimes it just shows that taking a sweet damn time, and sometimes things just hit differently. Because the in my eyes, and I need to do some research when I can, but I want to find out what other people are saying about this expansion. But in my eyes, it's been a bit of a U-turn. I think initially people enjoyed it, like within a few days. Then once it settled in, people were like, "Oh, yeah," and then after a while, it sounds like people began to appreciate the game. But for us, we never took that journey. We've just played it gradually, and with big breaks in between, where I just game a little more. And I think that really helps as well.
I think a lot of people still don't like it, but really can't put a finger on what it is that they don't like, and they just blame it on the easiest and most obvious thing. And I think that there's always a deeper reasoning behind it. And I think that it's just a sense of parting and starting something new and just having to get accustomed to change is what mostly people are bothered about. I know that a lot of people will say, no, actually, I'm bothered about this specific reason or this specific thing, but I think a lot of it comes down to change.
Yeah, I was talking about. I mean, I know it'd be really quite a fair bit, but like with this expansion, I can see the improvements they've done. Like, I can see where they've gone above and beyond. For example, the train cutscene. I was talking about this to Rafa Omega, one of our members of our community, the other day on stream, and I thought they really upped their game with the camera angles, the cinematography, the music, and the way the cutscene played out. And normally, as you were saying at the exact time, V, you were saying it should be a duty or a dungeon or something. And now I look back and I think, yes, cool, it would be. And I think typically it would be. But they opted for that not to be. And it was really impressive watching how they did that cutscene. And that's just one that sticks out to me when I think, holy moly, what a cool cutscene is that.
It really was. I take it back. I was one of the people who said, oh, maybe this could have been something we would participate in. No, it was just nice to sit back and relax and see what it is that they made. So I agree with that.
That's my exact point. Like, it was nice to sit back and watch his story be told. Like watch his action scene take place. Because we have had action scenes before, like Horishfon in Heaven's Ward, or even the quite a memorable cutscene to me, Onward, with when Kassetsu's holding down the building before.
Yeah.
All these. A lot of people forget these scenes, and and then you hear that gunshot, and you see the camera angle with the cinematography of just a smoking gun, and you don't know, did she shoot him? Is he alive? Is he, And it's these memorable cutscenes, these action scenes that we don't need to play out every cutscene. It's a story that we should be able to see the story unfold in a way like a TV show or series, and it really adds to storytelling when not everything has to be playable. And I'm betting you they would have taken bit like budget shots and cuts here and there to make that duty work. And also for what it was, just hopping between these trains wouldn't probably be any better.
Yeah.
I still didn't think it played out. We just sat there and we were like, we did not expect this bombing mission to be like this at all. Like, and then followed by that, like literally moments later, we got a dungeon. I'm like, oh, cool, we got a epic cutscene into a dungeon.
It was
Really,
good
really.
pacing.
Yeah,
Now
very
that
good
it's settled in, yeah, I agree.
I think the pacing overall has been quite good since, especially 95. And I think my only downfall and my own my own annoyance is I took a huge break between 91 and 95. Sorry, I played 91 to 95, then took a huge break like within a month or two. Then I went back to replay it, but I found the pacing from 95 onwards to be quite good. It slowed down a little bit here. I was just talking to you a bit about this before with Zeraljar. It's a cool fight, and then slowing us down to take us to another zone. But I'm not gonna lie, I thought that we'd done so much of the game that there was gonna be another zone. And then I look and then see there's another 2 teleports in the zone.
We have so much story to go through. I really do hope that it's engaging and that it doesn't feel like the quiet before the storm, which I felt in, let's say, in Shadowbringers with the trolley quests and whatnot. I just really hope that they are exciting and that there's things going on rather than just going around and getting to know people who we, well, for the lack of a better word, we just have to nuke them. So, I just hope that it's not going around just getting to know them and then just dealing with the fact that they're gonna go away because of something that we're doing.
Like I said in the last video, I don't think this place will go away because it's the final zone.
Yeah.
It's a zone at the end of the day, and they're not just going to give you a free zone and go, oh, actually, we're just going to delete it now.
Just
They've got
kidding,
3
yeah.
teleport cards in it. Yeah, and I think it would be really unwise to give you this world if all these people did fade away, if the zone would be empty.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I'm seeing it. I mean, of course, there's going to be enemies in the zone, but maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we don't know what's going to happen.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'll continue it. Sorry. Big
That's
digression.
okay.
I'll do like
No.
add a bit of discussion there. So